Hi everyone, welcome back to Java 1 for All. And in this video, we are going to talk about a special method that we have available in the object class and how we can override it. So to talk fully about overriding methods in Java, we need to understand several more concepts, for example, polymorphism. And since we don't know it yet, I'm going to start about overriding now, and we are going to come back later in future videos. So before we start, let's create a new package. Let's call this package I overriding. So package I overriding dot, and I will create the domain, and I will create a Java class, and I will call this class anime, and then I will create here a test package. Out insert package test. Out insert again Java class anime test 01, and I will go back to my anime. So we have been doing the same thing over and over. We create here one attribute, then we create getters and setters, and we also create a constructor where we give the name. And every time we were printing or getting the data back, we would need to create a method that would return the objects, the attributes that we want. So you saw in previous videos, if I create here anime, and be careful to import from the correct package, overriding. So I'm creating anime. I think about some good one here. Dr. Stone. Pretty chilled. So you saw before that if we call the reference variable inside the print, we are going to get the package plus the class name, then @ and a hex code. Where is this coming from? So even though you don't have methods that will do that in your reference variable, we know now that all classes, they are objects. So if you type .toString, even though you don't have toString, you are getting because of the inheritance, you will see the same results. So basically, every time you call a reference variable directly into a print, you are going to get the behavior of the toString. And what is this toString doing? So let's come here. So I'll give you an example. Let's add here at extends object. You don't need, but I want you to see clearly. And you can search for toString. So basically, this toString, as we have here, is getting the class.getName. So basically, this get class is going to return the package of where that class is located, and then we are going to get the name. So we are chaining methods here. We are going to talk about this in future videos. And then we have the @ and hash code. So basically, this is what is being executed each time we call the reference variable inside a system.out.println or system.out.print and so on. Now, what can we do? Because we already know how to override things. We did that in the previous video when we were talking about manager, and manager is overriding the print method. So basically, we can do the same. If we go back here to our anime, we can do the same. And the rules of overriding a method is you have to have the same access modifier. I'm going to talk about a bit of that later. And then the same return and the same name and the same parameters. So if you don't see an icon like this, it means that you are not overriding correctly. And if you want to make sure that you are overriding, just add the annotation @override, because if you change the name of the method, you are not overriding, you are creating a new method, and the override is going to give you a compilation error. So right now I know that this method is overriding the toString from the object class. I don't need to have object here because all classes, they are accessing objects by default. Now I can give anything here. So for example, I want to return every time someone calls a reference variable that's an anime, I would like to return like the name and whatever I have in memory. So if someone calls toString from anime class, this is what we are going to get back. And if I press Shift F10, you will see that now we don't have that hash anymore. And this is pretty weird. Let me fix this. So in our anime test, even if we call toString, Shift F10, we have the results that are what was defined inside our anime class. So basically, this is one way that we have to avoid having to create print in all objects. So from now on, we are going to override the toString. Do we have to do it manually? No. Fortunately for us, IntelliJ can do that. If we press Alt Insert, you will see that we have toString. So you have a few templates here, but we are going to keep on this one because we don't know how string buffer builder they work yet. So let's just select the first template, and then we are going to say I want to have the name and also include the override annotation. You can then press OK, and you will see that IntelliJ has a template for us. I think this can be changed in one of the settings in IntelliJ. I'm not sure exactly where, but I'm pretty sure that this can be changed. And now, after executing again, we do have the animate name Dr. Stone. So basically, this is how overriding works. So since we have available for us coming from the object, we can override, and then this behavior will now belong to the anime class. So if you create a new object, we don't have this. We have to override again. So the rules, one of the rules for overriding is you have to have exactly the same name. You cannot have different names. The exactly same parameters. If you don't have any parameters, you have to keep this way. And then the things, they will change a little bit with access modifier and return type. So return type, there is something that we call covariant return. It's basically when we talk about the polymorphism and we are returning a narrower object. But we are going to talk about that when we talk about polymorphism. And the access modifier, it can never be more restrictive. So public is the most wide access modifier that we have. It means that everybody will have access to everything. So if I try to take out this freedom, I'm going to get an error. So you can always make your methods that are overridden more public, less restrictive, but you can never make it more restrictive. So if it was protected there in the object class, we could change this, for example, later to public in the class that we are overriding. But we are going to talk about that in future classes. For now, what I have to remember is try to have exactly the same signature when you are overriding your methods to make sure, and add this annotation that will double check for you. So I hope you enjoyed. See you in the next video. Bye.